I was always the perfect one. Broke into the stadium and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line. You were always the perfect one, the valedictorian. So under your number I wrote call for a good time. I only wanted to catch your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention, and I played my guitar too loud. Well, how do you like me now? Said, how do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy standing here today. I couldn't make you love me, but I always dreamed about living in your radio. How do you like me now? When I took off for Tennessee, I heard that you made fun of me. Never imagined I'd make it this far. Then you married into a money girl, ain't it a cruel and funny world? He took your dreams and he tore them apart. He never comes home and you're always alone, and your kids hear you crying down the hall. Alarm clock starts ringing, who could that be singing? It's me, baby, I'm your wake-up call. Well, how do you like me now? How do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy standing here today. I couldn't make you love me, but I always dreamed about living in your radio. How do you like me now?
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Music and Madness with Tom and John here, live from the Villages, Florida. That's where it's all happening, isn't it, John?
Sure is, baby.
And today is no different. We have brought in one of the entertainers of the Villages. He entertains at a lot of the different clubs, nightclubs, private parties, all kinds of things here in the Villages.
It's always a party.
It's always a party,
yeah.
absolutely. It goes with the name of Coyote Joe. Is that the official name of your?
That's what the old man named me when he raised me up after I was born and did the Indian way and looked up and he saw the coyote running underneath the billboard with Smoking Joe on it, and he said, by God, this Coyote Joe.
I love it.
Mama wasn't real happy about it. She wanted to name me Bob, but
Well, hey,
you know, Joe stuck with a coyote in front of it.
At least she didn't name you Sue or some shit like that.
No, but I can sing to you about it. I still got both ears.
Yeah. So Joe, how long you been down here in the Villages?
Man, I've been down here, owning a rental property since 2017, but living down here since probably 2020.
Okay. And where were you living prior to this?
Nashville, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
So what did you do in Nashville?
As little as possible, because that's what all Tennesseans do. You
do the same here, right?
Yeah. No. I owned a club. I built homes. Just a little jack of all trades. Built some apartments. Flew around the world for a while. All pretty much out of Nashville since about the late '80s.
So was it music though that got you to Nashville?
No, it was my dad lived there, and I needed to leave Oklahoma before I got arrested. So I thought, Tennessee's a great place. They don't cross. That's two borders to cross.
Yeah,
exactly.
You didn't do any music in Nashville?
Yeah. At Legend Sports Grill, I did.
Okay, yeah.
But that's not what the question was. Is that what got me
you there?
No, but I'll tell you, I got there 2 years ahead of Garth Brooks. I watched Garth Brooks in Stillwater, Oklahoma, at this little place, still there, I think, called Eskimo Joe's. And Stillwater's the college town for Oklahoma State University. Yep. And I was there with my father-in-law, my stepfather, who was assistant dean of agriculture, trying to open a business in Oklahoma City when I was young. And, man, this guy was on stage, and he was kicking it. And I thought, gosh, damn, Well, I moved on to the business didn't happen, so I actually opened that business in Nashville. That's what actually got me to Nashville, was the 3M Energy Control Products business. But and it wasn't 2 years, and this cat shows up and he starts singing, and I'm going, damn, I should have sang when I got here, because look at the millions he's making.
Yeah.
And man, it wasn't too much later after that they in Nashville back in the day. they Decca and Sony and RCA down on Music Row before all the high-tech gizmo stuff. They would literally shut down an intersection and build a stage like kind of what you got here and put their new recording artist out there to the public. And I don't know, man. It was like a year or two after Garth got there and started hitting it. I took my wife and my 2 kids down there for something free to do. Didn't have a lot of money. And, man, there was this like 6'5" guy on the stage, and he starts singing Should Have Been a Cowboy, which become the #1 most requested hit in the decade of the 90s with the country DJ charts, and it was Toby Keith. And then living in Nashville, you just start meeting all of them, you know. So Reba, and a bunch of them was from Oklahoma anyway. So
Yeah, no kidding.
I was the only one that wasn't smart enough to try to go sing. The rest of them started. Blake Shelton showed up, started making money. I'm going, damn, I'm stupid.
It's amazing.
I have to do it down here.
You go to Nashville now, and you just go. Every guy on the street, it's phenomenal. Like every singer there is great.
Yeah.
You go up and down. You see these guys just, cranking their
Well,
guitar.
dude, I would hire them out in Lebanon. I was the next county over where I opened my sports grill, and I had to pay them. They work for free downtown Nashville, and they're cream of the crop. And most of them will never get anything, but you just never know.
That's
know.
right.
And
the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, but boy, they would come out and sing for me for cheap. So.
They're just doing what they love. Now, when did you start singing? Before you got to Nashville, or no?
No, I was hiring karaoke. I made my best money in my club doing karaoke, but I have a band every Saturday night, and I do karaoke on Thursday and Friday. And I did better driving liquor sales than them karaoke people did, and I got to work. Then they started asking me, sing this song. They didn't want to sing it. They wanted me to sing it. So eventually I wound up writing a set of music, and then when I come down here in 2017, I started trying to corral some local talent to create Coyote Joe's Traveling Roadshow. So a lot of times if I'm doing a big party, or like on my cul-de-sac, for instance, the way I got my brand going is I'd have a cul-de-sac party, and I went from about 56 people to 280 2 years later, and it got too big,
No kidding.
Yeah, but, I branded myself and got out and started playing, and I just like to play. It's like my after-retirement life career fun,
Well, I know the All-In Bungalows loves you.
Yeah, man.
We've had you 3 or 4
Dude,
times.
let me tell you something. Y'all picked me up from an auction where I donated a show.
That's right. Me and Andrea.
Yeah, you did. And I said it'd be nice, if you pass a tip bucket around to kind of make it worthy of setting up this stuff and tearing it down. Dude, I'm telling you, I went home and I had this wad in my pocket, and I thought, how much is in there? And I got to counting it. And there was like almost $500 in in 5s, 10s, and 20s. I've never done a free show. I made probably as much or more money doing that as I did anything.
We have a great neighborhood. We have a giving neighborhood,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Great people, party people. Y'all party. A lot of them don't party.
Oh yeah, and you did the newlywed game for us.
Yeah, the
too.
not so newlywed.
Yeah,
I'm the Bob Eubanks
yeah.
of the Villages, baby.
So what? Yeah. Besides playing it out at some of the clubs and stuff that you do here, what other things do you do? I know the newlywed game.
I do. Back when I had my club, I had a thing called Two Dudes Trivia, and I put these 2 young guys in business because it didn't cost me a lot of money, and they didn't want to just do the trivia on the board like everybody does. They wanted to be creative. They wanted to get high and be creative, And I said, just don't get high in my club and be creative. So they introduced the trivia and named that tune and a little bit of Pictionary. So now what I do, it's called the Coyote Joe Games. In a 2-hour show, I incorporate trivia, Pictionary, name that tune, and a 3-person karaoke contest, all in one. Everybody in the room, 50, 60, 80, 100 people, whatever, is involved the whole time.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
Yeah, it runs pretty good, and you have a good time doing it. It's something nobody else does.
What is the craziest thing that you've seen here in one of your shows in the Villages?
A naked 80-year-old woman.
No way.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, I was going to say, you got any pictures? Or what?
No, I wanted to stay with that story, but I couldn't. If we're being videoed. No, what's the craziest thing I've seen here? man, I don't probably how these people drive their golf carts, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I've got a Harley, and I drive it 2 months out of the year. I don't drive it in the summer because it's so freaking hot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the devil's den when you're on a bike that's already blowing heat on your legs.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, you're going to die if you think you can drive through these roundabouts. Now, I'm just telling you, because Bertha is going to stop. They don't drive in New York City, but when they come down here, they own a car,
You have a huge following down at in Sumter at
RJ Gators.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and Coyote.
And I love that they put all the chairs outside, so you pack that
freaking
place.
Party. Yeah, that's kind of that's like the number one in my opinion, which ain't worth a damn most of the time, but that's probably the number one midday party spot. I call it day drinkers, party seekers crowd.
And what day do you do that?
Tuesday, and I'm the third highest grossing day of the week behind Friday and Saturday, and I don't want to work weekends.
What are the hours of that?
2 to 5.
So from 2 to 5, people are just getting trashed on Tuesday.
Yeah,
cranks down there.
Yeah. They've got some regulars, and then I don't know, probably 20 Coyote Joe. I've got the Coyote Joe Dancing Chicks Club. They're classy, sassy, and a little bit trashy.
Perfect.
And they all kind of start showing up, and they all, right on the sidewalk, they get on it,
Well, my wife and I, 2 of her girlfriends flew in, and it was, they flew in on Monday. They flew in kind of late. So Tuesday, he was playing down at Sumter Gators, and we're like, oh, we'll come down. Well, they're thinking Tuesday at home in Boston. There's not a hell of a lot going on. We dragged down there. There had to be 250 people all outside.
Just strung out. It's a trip,
believe
isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I come down here. My daughter, who's now an FBI agent in Dallas at 27 years old, 28, was a freshman in college at EKU, and she came down to Florida University for a Christmas tournament. And instead of renting a hotel, we stayed in my wife's aunt's house while they was gone for Christmas. And, man, I fell in love with this place. It was like something I'd never seen before. And I come back the next year and bought a house just so I could come down here.
Yeah.
It's kind of that way. My wife, she wanted to be a villager for the last 25 years. I'm like, shit, we got to be over 40 to get here at least. So we're villagers now, but again, it has that draw.
Oh yeah.
When you come down here, if you spend 2-3 days here, you either love it or hate it.
Well, and I finish my shows. I don't do the typical, what's his name, patriotic song. I do Johnny Cash and 2 or 3 other patriotic songs, Toby Keith. But I always ask a question. I say, raise your hand if you're from the Villages. And there might be 200 people out there, and they're looking at me like, what? I said, look, man, nobody's born here.
Right. We're all transplants.
But between all of us, it doesn't matter what your gender is, your skin color, your ethnicity, your verbiage, it doesn't. We're all Americans, and we all come down here, and this is like the bubble melting pot, and it's so cool. You meet all kinds of cool people.
It's a great place to live the last chapters.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Many people have worked their ass off to get here. And it's a great place to be.
Yeah,
so
we love it.
Yep. So outside of entertainment, what do you do here in the Villages?
Well, I'm just starting to take up water volleyball.
Is that right?
Yeah, and the women are real good instructors. They all tell me what to do and how to do it. And then I get up usually and leave after I said, look, man, I live with one. I don't need to be in a pool with 10 more. You know what I mean?
And told what to do.
No, I ought not say that because they're going to protest you. But I'm starting to, and I brought my, from Oklahoma, Tulsa, my uncle had a 1956 Crestline boat, metal bottom boat, 14-footer. That he bought in 63, and he was worried that if he dies, his daughter would sell it, his only child. So I made him let me buy it from him, and I brought it down here. And I'm the only guy in the Villages that put a boat in my backyard on sawhorses and stripped it down, gutted it down to the
no
metal.
Way.
Oh, yeah. And, man, I sold a Kubota 35U Mini X in my backyard, and I live right on the corner in Chitty Chatty. I can say it now because it's gone. But I had equipment in my backyard. I moved here from a 35-acre farm.
No way.
Well, they pretty much know that you're from Tennessee at that point.
Yeah.
Well, usually it's in your front yard.
That's true.
Well, I got to make concessions somewhere. My front yard's got a palm tree in it. I couldn't do it there.
I know you love to cook too, because I know you have a big party at your house that you put the steaks on the grill. and
Yeah,
do all that
I
stuff.
brought my cowboy grill with me. I like eating a steak. Just throw some Tennessee hickory. I went home and bought a rick of wood. And to be honest with you, I had that big smoker I brought down.
John, do you have any idea what a rick of
Wood,
wood is?
absolutely
I knew
not.
he didn't. I knew he didn't.
Absolutely not.
A rick of wood is half a cord.
Okay, I know what
John,
a cord
do you-
is. I know what a cord is.
A cord of wood?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what a cord is. Yeah,
Okay,
they said
brother. Well, I'm with you.
12 by 8.
Okay,
10
there
by
you
8.
So, but I went and brought some down, and man, I was getting involved with these groups. You can have any kind of group here you want. Cards, tiddlywinks,
Naked
ball and
pickleball.
jack.
Yep.
Yeah, if you get 10 people, they'll let you make a group out of it. Well, the people where I live was talking me into. I did 8 Boston butts for one dinner, and I did like 10 turkeys. I had a great big smoker a tailgate smoker,
Yep.
I brought from my grill, and I entered they wanted us all everybody to do ribs, for 4th of July. They bought them. Well, I did 17 racks, and everybody else did 2, and I had to cut them suckers individually. And when we got there and did the contest, and I got enough ribs to fill this freaking room, the one that won it was the guy's wife that he put it on, and she basted some Baby Ray's barbecue on some ribs and put it in the oven and broiled it. And she won the contest. I got so ticked off, I sold the smoker. My wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "All these people want is for me to do this,
That's
So
right.
I went out and bought a Traeger, and it sucks, man. It's nothing like that hickory wood that I'd smoke with.
No way.
And once,
I shouldn't say sucks. That's probably not the right word. It's awful.
Yeah, there you go.
and once you smoke your own meat, you can't hardly eat barbecue out anywhere.
Well,
you
that's
just can't.
right. That's right.
It's-
And I learned from them Tennessee boys,
Yeah.
Hell, I've dug holes with my backhoe and put a hog down in the ground, covered it with coals, covered it up, and the next day 2 kegs of beer and 2 or 3 bottles of Jack, and we was partying country boy style,
Yeah,
dig
good
it
old
back up
boys.
out of the ground.
I think we need to do that.
Yeah, that would be
We
cool.
need to have the
We'll use your backyard.
music and
Yeah, well, you should see his backyard.
Music and Madness with Tom and John hog roast.
That'd be
Man,
great.
Yeah,
I'm in.
absolutely.
I'm your first
Absolutely.
invite, brother.
Absolutely.
I'll baste it for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll get Deb to clean it.
Hey, yeah, right.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Deb and Andrea,
Yeah.
good luck. We could do it right here. Outside.
You're a bigger
Yeah,
man
Good.
100%.
than what I thought.
Yes. No, that is one thing about smoked meat. I lived in Georgia for 14 years.
Oh man, you're
and-
acclimated.
They eat everything but the squeal off a hog.
That's
But once you start smoking your own meat, you can't eat out anywhere.
That's why I'm saying, I was telling you earlier, y'all come over and I'll throw that. I've got a big old round grill. It looks like that one at Buc-ee's that you can buy, but half price. Buc-ee's, they wanted too much. I bought their chairs, wouldn't buy their grill. But I threw that hickory down there, and then I put your ribeyes on there. And then I've also got a teepee where I throw my kettle up there and make cowboy stew and stuff. It's just
Your neighbors
it's
must
all
love
good.
you. Your neighbors are over all the time, or what?
They love me, but I'm in a
must.
small neighborhood. You know,
Yeah.
I can't say all of Chitty Chatty loves me, but
Yeah.
them that one little street does. You
I'm
know.
sure they do.
But I'm
Everybody
feeding their
close.
ass. I mean, I'm feeding their
Entertainment,
butts
feeding
pretty good,
them,
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Well, once you fire that up, it smokes for 8 hours. I mean, everybody's
yeah.
smelling that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, you're.
They're knocking on the door. I said, "Man, dude ain't home."
Yeah.
Mike ain't home. Yeah, you only got 8 hours to go. Come back in 8 hours and eat up. Definitely.
That's right. That's right.
So you moved to Chitty Chatty. How long were you in Nashville?
Oh man, I moved there in like 88. My son, who's now 42, was 2. So 40 years ago I moved there. So you do the math because I'm
Yeah, so-
drinking.
Yeah.
A lot of changes in Nashville.
Oh yeah. When I moved there, the Blue Bloods run it. Belle Meade, you don't know all that, but I mean, you to get elected into politics, you had to go through the sheriff's department, and then he winds up getting busted and put in jail in Texas. You know, after I was down there. But now, Lord, everybody and their mother's down there, so it's become a chick magnet thing downtown. It ain't even fun anymore. It's just
Bachelorette party center.
Yeah, unless you're there to take pictures. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, bachelorette parties are a big deal.
Yeah.
The
That's all there is.
NFL draft put them on the map for parties.
Yeah,
literally.
absolutely.
Literally.
It is. It's literally Nashville and New Orleans are
Yeah.
like the top 2 now.
Yeah.
You know, where
And
5
if you're
years
from
ago-
there, you don't even want to go.
Oh,
you
I'm
know?
sure. Yeah.
Not
5
now.
years ago, no one wanted. Well, maybe 10 years, no one would go. everyone wants to go to Nashville.
10 years, 15 years ago, I was down on Printer's Alley buying cash long necks and singing karaoke and hiring girls to come play at my place out in Lebanon. You know?
Printer's Alley is totally different.
Oh, yeah, it's not Printer's Alley anymore.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's still fun. I don't want to be negative. It's fun down there, but it's a young man's game. That's old guys, man. I'm not into the
staying up until 4 a.m. and drinking, and that's like.
I am just. I'd rather be at your house.
Yeah,
watching,
exactly.
Watching the draft.
Where I can get into a golf cart and safely drive home.
Yeah, I know you put that safely in there. Dude, I almost got hit head on. I was riding my bike the other day. We're going to Italy for 2 weeks for my oldest daughter, the 46-year-old's finally getting married, and my wife says, you got to get in shape because we're going to tour and we're going to do all this stuff. So I've been riding the bike. Man, I'm coming around the corner, and this guy, as I look at you, the width of your headphones is what he missed me by.
No way.
And if I could have got that bike turned around and my heart calmed down, he would have had a whole earful of what you'll never do again.
Was he paying attention? Was he looking?
Well, he almost hit the guy right around the corner walking his dogs. They're late for They're late
golf.
for golf.
It's a podcast. You can swear all you want.
That's right.
Well, by God, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I try to be mellow, but you know.
I had one coming at me going down to Southern Oaks the other day. He was, I assume, looking at his phone or whatever, and I had to give him a little toot before he swerved the car.
Yeah.
Well, they kill.
It's hell driving your Harley down them golf carts too. I got a fat boy, and some of them turns are hard when them Harleys are on them.
They kill a half a dozen a year, I think. Golf cart down here.
I got two friends that's been life flighted. Honest to God, I know two people in my life down here that's been life flighted to hospitals.
Out of a golf cart?
Out of a golf cart, yeah. And then another one runs into what I call the gator pit. There's one pond that's always got two in it. And she just drives straight on in there, Jack, and swims out and goes home.
No kidding.
I said, hey, that's my kind of woman.
I'll get that later. I'll get that tomorrow.
Are these after they leave your parties?
No. That's a disclaimer, brother.
That's right.
I ain't got the insurance for all that.
No kidding.
So our viewers are definitely going to see, that you're here, and tell everybody where you play at so that your schedule and so we get some.
Well, I hate to sound conceited, but I've kind of started tuning back. Tomorrow night is Monday, right?
It's Monday night.
I play at Cody's Roadhouse in Sumter, and the next day I played right next door at RJ Gators. RJ Gators every Tuesday, 2 to 5. That's just the fun. I'll never give that up.
That's a great time.
And the Cody's is really cool too. And I was up until about a week ago doing a lawn party, which was really kind of cool for laid back music. At Finney Grill, all the way south.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we kind of let that go. I just do special events. And I'll tell you something else that's really cool that I'm doing now is, I don't know if you've heard of it, but Big Bass Grill is on Lake Panisofsky.
Oh, yeah.
On the other side. Cool atmosphere, affordable prices, long happy hour. And, man, I can sing Waylon, and I can sing all kinds of stuff, Blackfoot and things that I can't sing in the villages that I grew up being a little young redneck from Oklahoma, because Oklahoma, we sing all that stuff.
Yep.
But so I do those three, and I've started, I don't want to name names, but I've let about 4 or 5 others go. Where it just got to be, I'm getting old, man. It's I like to have fun with it. Yeah, once it becomes a job, I don't want to play anymore.
Exactly. Now, have you got a website where people can find you?
No, man, I'm barely smart enough to do Facebook, brother.
So,
I sit here and watch you guys hook up the microphone. I couldn't figure that shit out.
So Coyote,
I just sing, brother. That's
right.
So we just look for Coyote Joe in the Villages phone book.
Coyote Joe's Traveling Road Show on Facebook.
On Facebook, there you go. Okay,
do Facebook, and then always, if you tip me $20, I'll remember your name.
That's right.
10, I'll remember your initials. Anything below that, I'd just soon you buy me a drink.
I'm gonna tell you what. If I put that much in a tip jar, I'll put my fucking name.
That's right. No, I didn't.
You will know how much you got for me.
No, man, I'll tell you all about those tips. So it's nice to get them, but and I appreciate them. But man, it's not expected. As long as you're having a good time, and it's a party. That's why I don't do inside stuff. Man, I don't want to say where, but I would do some inside gigs, and they'd go, turn it down. I said, dude, I can't sing if I turn it down.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that's why everything I do that I've just told you is outside, know. So
the pool party we had for you, it was great. Yeah. Great atmosphere. Venue. Yeah.
We want to we want to have you sing a couple songs and So you guys are going to get to see what Coyote Joe does. We've got to put him up here on the live stage, and that's pretty much going to wrap up the day. If you want to take, like I said, book a party with Joe, it's Coyote Joe and
Coyote Joe's Traveling Road
Coyote
Show.
Joe's Traveling Road Show, Facebook. All you old people are on Facebook. They say that the young people are on other shit, but we're still on Facebook.
If you're a woman, it could be half price, depending on how you want to negotiate.
There you go. That's
you guys is
it.
going to be full price plus the other half that the chicks ain't paying.
There you go. All right. Hey,
love
we
it,
appreciate
brother.
you coming down and
Yeah,
talking to
thanks
us.
for
man.
coming in,
All right,
man.
I
awesome.
appreciate your
Thank you.
time, man.
You're the
All right,
best, Coyote.
Thank you,
Love you,
John.
brother.
All right.
Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet, pretty woman. I don't believe you, it's not so true. No one can look as good as you. Mercy. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me, pretty woman? Couldn't help but see, pretty woman. Oh, you look lovely as can be. Are you lonely just like me? Oh. Pretty